In this live episode, 300th episode of Fictional Hangover, we talk about Please Don't Feed the Vampire by R.L. Stine with SuperFans Annie, Brie, Constance, and Drew.
Pew, 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 pew.
Hey everybody, welcome to the 300th episode of Fictional Hangover. What? A podcast about young adult and new adult and sometimes other books, series, authors, voice actors, and illustrators that is full of spoilers. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Annie.
And I'm Brie.
I'm Constance.
I'm Drew.
And I'm Claire, and today we're going to discuss Please Don't Feed the Vampire by R.L. Stine.
Standard disclaimer, if you haven't given yourself goosebumps and read this book, please remember that Fictional Hangover is all about spoilers. If you haven't read and don't want to be spoiled, too bad because we're live! Though you should definitely read this book because it's ridiculous. So check it out if you want to. You can probably find it at your local library or using the app called Hoopla if your library offers it. If you haven't read it but want to pretend that you have, or if you don't care about spoilers, or if you just like the show so much that you don't care about any of that, then listen up. Yay! 300 episodes! What?
This is going to get confusing.
Yep.
No, it's fine. Everything's fine. Look, our super fans have listened to the show at least probably 200 episodes worth of it. So
Once.
they know.
I don't know. I've listened to My Pterodactyl Boyfriend a couple times.
No, that one was so bad.
That's the episode I introduced people to.
I think all of us have actually been on the show at least once per person, probably twice.
Yep. Yeah, everybody's been on a few times. Drew might be the winner, or maybe Constance.
I've only been like once, but it was pirate themed, so I got to dress up. So
Yeah.
I think it's between me and Drew.
I'm trying to remember
Yeah.
how many Heartstoppers I did.
I think you've done all the
4.
Heartstoppers.
You've done all 4,
God.
and 5 is coming up.
I am the super fans. I'm the super.
And I did all the Percy Jackson.
You did do all the Percy Jacksons.
I'm loving the competition here.
I know, I like it.
I'm claiming the next Gail Carriger one. I don't care who else is on there. I want to be on the next Gail Carriger one.
All yours.
I
Right,
humbly
well,
request.
let's have some normalcy. Amanda, background information.
All right. Background information for Please Don't Feed the Vampire found on the wiki for this book because, yes, it has one. At one point, Secret Agent Grandma was planned to be released before Please Don't Feed the Vampire. And this is evidenced by the fact that the Creepy Creations at Professor Shock addresses Secret Agent Grandma as the next book in the series on the back cover. And then the concept art for this one had it listed as number 16. But for unknown reasons, Secret Agent Grandma was released after this book. No one knows why. It's secret information that R.L. Stine will probably take to his grave. But
Okay.
also, at the time of its release, this book had the earliest point where you could choose what to do. But now, that's gone by the wayside now. But when it was released as book 15/16, whichever order you choose to read it in, it had the earliest decision. And I think that's fun.
Maybe Secret Agent Grandma was busy fighting vampires.
Maybe. We can hope.
As grandmas do.
So, what are everyone's initial thoughts about this book? I'm going to start, and then we're going to go to Claire, and then we're going to go in alphabetical order with our super fans, because that's the best thing about having super fans with our initials like this. Okay, so my initial thoughts are yes, 300 main episodes. Yes, R.L. Stine. Yes, choose your own adventure. And yes, super fans. Yay!
Oh, how can you follow that? How can you follow that? I mean, episode 300, baby. Yeah. Super fans, baby. Woo! Pew, pew, pew. I mean, wow. Wow. Most podcasts usually end after 7 episodes.
7?
Yep.
That's
throwing some
hilarious.
Statistics at you.
That's not even
Wow.
one series of House of Night. What, guys?
Wow.
Annie, what are your initial thoughts?
My initial thoughts was, how does one write a choose your own adventure book? Because it just boggles my mind. How do you just, the logistics of it? Also, super fans, yay!
Yay!
And it's my birthday month, and you know, I like to celebrate, and so this has been one of the highlights of my June celebration. So there you go.
Yay!
Yay.
Brie, what about you?
Well, this is my first Goosebumps book ever.
What?
So,
How?
yes,
How?
What?
I was an Animorphs child
How?
in this stage.
Same.
So, yeah, Animorphs. I did a couple choose your own adventures, but I can't remember what they were about. And so, yeah, first Goosebumps, and I married a raging Goosebumps fan who used to have the entire collection, but it got donated at some point. We're going to remedy that.
Oh, shit.
But yeah, Are You Afraid of the Dark? I watched that once. That's about all the background I have. Also,
Wow.
300 episodes and super fans.
Woo! All right, Constance, what about you?
I'm kind of like Brie. This is my first Goosebump book.
There's no
Which-
way.
Lost my mind.
I was an Animorphs girl. What can I say? Brie's my soulmate there. But I mean, I was instantly sold. Vampires, doggos. Yes, you had me. But I love a good choose your own adventure. Like that in itself also got me. I have a really good Jane Austen choose your own adventure. And so I was like, I'm ready. I think we have the same one.
I need one. I need one.
Yes, we'll send you one. Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, so good.
finally, Drew.
I'm going to preferred will this soulmate ship. I'm pretty confident this is also the first Goosebumps book I've read.
Then that makes four all of
You
those.
guys blow my mind.
I mean, I vaguely remember seeing them at like school when they had the World Book Days and stuff, and I was like, "Oh, these look pretty cool," and then I just didn't read them. I was more interested about what Biff and Chip were going to go do and with their keys and their dog. But vampires.
Yeah.
Choose your own adventure. I say no more. I like to speedrun to see how fast I can get a terrible outcome. It was pretty fun.
Well, then that makes 4 of us, because I have not read. I'm like Drew. I remember seeing them. I just assumed that it's because I'm a little bit older than all of you all. So, but I've seen them, but no, I'd never read one. I mean, I've read Choose Your Own Adventures, but no Goosebumps.
Amanda, where do we get the from?
I don't know what we're gonna have to remedy this and just read all of them. Maybe we'll have a Goosebumps year, and we'll only do
Wait till-
Goosebumps for
Well,
all year long.
All the time.
December is it's the 90s booyah or something like booyah. It's the 90s.
It is, yes.
So you maybe read a
maybe
book from the 90s or
May-
set in the 90s.
maybe we just need to scrap all of our December plans and replace them with Goosebumps.
Goosebumps Christmas books.
I'm sure there are some.
There are. I've already looked.
Oh yeah. Haven't you guys done that before? For Christmas time, you read like a Christmas Goosebump book?
It was a New Year, and it was like it was an
was Fear
R.L.
Street.
Stine, but it was like
It was Fear
Street.
Street, not Goosebumps.
Um,
So it's a little spicier, as children's horror books are concerned. Oh my God. Okay, are we ready for this summary?
yes.
Okay, so everyone enjoying this episode with us, the summary that we're going to share is just the first playthrough of the book, because you can read these books a million billion times, but this is first run answering the first or choosing the first option every single time. And there are some times where I was pained to choose that option, but it's fine. We're going to go through it. And I mean, who knows if we're going to live or die? Are you ready? It's almost Halloween, and you have gotten a costume, vampire in a can. But your best friend Gabe agrees with you that you look pretty stupid with your little cape, plastic fangs, and bite mark tattoo that you found inside. Is there anything else in the can? You look inside and find that there's a packet that looks like blood, but it comes with a warning to keep away. Do you open it?
Of course.
Yes.
But you can't open it with your fingers, so you try your teeth. And what's inside is delicious. It might actually be blood. And now you're very thirsty, but water doesn't taste good. You need something else. Maybe the cranberry juice in the fridge. Nope, that's also gross. Suddenly, the light in the room hurts your eyes, so you run to your bedroom and close all the blinds. Gabe thinks maybe you're coming down with the flu. You look in the mirror and oh no! You have no reflection! Gabe
Oh, no.
stands next to you and you really want to drink it. But do you? Yes. You're a vampire.
Gabe is right there, so you try to bite him, but he runs to the kitchen for a steak. He tried to kill you with a filet mignon. Oops, wrong kind of steak there, Gabe. And then he shoves his already been chewed bubble gum, yuck, in your mouth. Once you get unstuck, your head is cleared. Gabe tells you that you have some choices to make. You can go back to the store where you got the costume. You can go to the library and do research about vampires. You can hide in your room and hope everything goes away. Or you can just become a vampire.
Even though in real life, everyone would probably choose to just become a vampire and or go to the library and do research, you decide to go back to the store and talk to the shopkeeper. You open the door, but it's daylight. And you get crispied. You shut the door quickly and wait until it gets dark before you and Gabe go to the store.
Luckily, it's October and it gets dark early. Yay. When you arrive at the store, it's to find the shopkeeper locking up. He tells you there's a number to call in the can if you have troubles with the costume. So you rush to the payphone and dial 555 vampire. The voice on the phone tells you to go to an address on Sanguine Road, but sanguine means bloody. Do you go?
Nah, Gabe thinks you shouldn't go. So we decide to go home instead. Maybe the whole vampire thing will just wear off in your sleep. While you sleep, you crawl into bed, snagging your fangs on your covers and fall asleep. The next morning, you don't hear the phone ringing, or your mum telling you that Gabe called with an idea for a cure. You also don't realise that she opens up the blinds to let the sunshine in on you to wake you up. She throws the covers back and oh no. You get burnt to a crisp in the bright rays of sunlight because it didn't just wear off while you slept, and you're still a vampire. Well, a dead one now.
I didn't get that ending. I did
Me
6
neither.
playthroughs and did not get that ending.
I didn't either. I think I did 5, and at one point in time, I was like holding my finger in the spot where you made a major decision, and I would go through one, and then I would go back and try another one, but I never got that ending.
I took meticulous notes.
I never got any with the dog. And the dog is on the cover of the book. I didn't get a single one with the dog.
You have to work hard to get the Fifi one. Really hard to get the Fifi one. It took me a few goals.
I did one playthrough of this, well, read through, I suppose, and I got the dog right away.
No, my original path was I opened the packet and I decided that I was not gonna bite Gabe, but then the book forced me to bite Gabe. So then I chose to become a vampire instead. I really wanted to go and do research at the library, but I thought, no, I'm going to be true to myself and I'm going to choose to become a vampire, but to only bite people that I hate, which sounds like straight up me. But so we went to bite the old lady down the street who kept my Frisbee because she's a bitch. And, but it turns out she had just eaten garlic bread, so she was safe. So I ran to a cemetery that was nearby and hid in an open grave and was buried alive. It was interesting that playthrough. Claire, what was yours?
I had a similar one. I did. I opened the packet straight away. I bit Gabe because tasty nom noms. However, I went and did research. I stayed true to myself and did research. But you know what? I like being a vampire. I got sent straight back and had to choose again that I like being a vampire because the research is terrible. The research was watching shitty movies.
Yeah, they never went to the library.
No, it's silly. So I decided I liked being a vampire. I went to the graveyard. Of course, I'm going to hide in a grave and get buried alive. Wah, wah.
Oh, we have the
That was the
same
route
fate.
I wanted to take. That was my first one. Yeah, but I did 6 purposely to do like the route I want to take, the route the book wants me to take, the asshole run, a pacifist run, the one with the bats. I need to get the bats.
Yes. And then the achievement run, obviously.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Annie, what'd you do?
Well, of course, I opened the packet because I'm not one of those people who's going to get a letter and put it in a drawer and not open it for 25 years and then find out some secret. No, we're opening that. Yeah. But I didn't bite Gabe because I felt that would be like a really shitty thing to do to your friend. So I didn't bite him. But then you get to the part where you have to bite him. So I went back. And then we went to visit the eyeball man. And we called the helpline. We ran from vampires. We found Gabe. We drank garlic spray. We told our mom the truth. Discovered we didn't have fangs and was normal. I mean, I got the most boring ending ever.
What?
My second one is much better. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, my ending was
That's
boring.
the second one I got. I got that the second time because that's the route I'm sure the book wants you to take.
I didn't see that one at all. There was every single time I ended, I was a vampire or surrounded by vampires or vampires were involved.
I did get on one of the other, I think it was like my third run, I did get the buried alive in the grave, which totally creeped me out because that's like a yeah, we don't want, yeah. I lived in Oklahoma for all my life, and I've constantly told people if we had a tornado and my house fell on my basement, somebody better come and get me out of there. That just sounds awful. But yeah, my first one was boring, but my second one was really good. We'll talk about it later.
Brie, what did you do?
Mine was possibly more boring.
Is that possible?
I don't know if that's possible.
Okay, so I did not open the packet. My dog Fifi got it instead. and she thought it was delicious, and then she turned to a vampire and ran off because, you know, she charged through the door like a giant poodle with vampire strength will do. Then, as me and Gabe are trying to go after her, the phone rings. So I answer it, and it's like, hey, Mom, I can't talk. The dog just ran off. And then she's all like, oh, the dog will come back. And she starts going on about a shopping list. So, of course, by the time that's done, I go out and my dog is gone. So, yeah, we wait. The dog doesn't come back like Mom said because I don't like my mom. She's not worth it. And then I get another call from Mr. Jeremy because he called being all like, hey, you better come get your dog or else.
Oh,
I don't like him either. So me and Gabe go to the house and I ring the bell and he comes and I'm just like, hey, do you have my dog? And then Mr. Jeremy is all like, what dog? I don't know what you're talking about. Slams the door in my face. Then I'm just like, what? And then Gabe's like, what jerk? Ring it again. And I'm just like, you ring it. Because, you know, it's better if Gabe does it because, you know, cannon fodder. That's what I'm thinking. And then the book called me a wimp.
oh.
That I punked out.
Rude. Rude.
So that was my first playthrough. My unofficial first playthrough is the second time, and that ended in a very different way with the pet store and dog keep turning all the pets into vampires, and then Mr. Jeremy selling them all to the circus. And somehow I'm okay with this.
What?
Like, I'm
Sorry, what?
He has my dog. He has my dog. I'm not going to just let him sell my vampire dog at the circus. No bueno.
I did not encounter any of this.
Did anybody else get that ending, or did Brie have a special book with that?
Oh, sure.
Oh my
Well,
gosh.
I didn't get the wimp bit, but I got Vampire Circus.
Oh, whoa. I need to do
Oh
this
my
again.
Yeah, clearly. Okay, Constance, what about you?
I had a lot of fun with this. I never died once, and I did 5 playthroughs. I even tried to die, and I just stayed alive. My first playthrough, every single time, opened the packet. All vampires all the time. I gotta. And so I instantly went to bite Gabe. I love being a vampire. Yeah. I got to where you and Claire went to the graveyard, but I stood my ground. I was like, I am not going into that grave. No. And it turns out it was the creepy glass-eyed guy who sold you the costume. And he offers you a deal. Bring him to some of your friends or people you don't like in exchange for he will be your vampire mentor. And I'm just like, okay, let's do it. I know a jerk we could go kill right now. Yeah. So he gives me some tidbits on the way to Jeremy's house and ring the doorbell. Instead, it's not Jeremy, it's Gabe. And I'm just like, no, please don't eat him. He eats them. And then he eats Jeremy. And then he's like, I'm full. Peace. And leaves me there with the police coming. And I'm just like, beep. And I leave town and I end up working at a diner. I meet a hot vampire guy and we get married and live happily ever after. Happily forever after.
That's
think it'd be-
amazing.
That was my
It could be the
asshole
book.
run.
And my last run, I found the cure. And I'm just like, no, I don't wanna.
No.
Oh my goodness.
I did that run once too, and I really liked when after he drained Gabe and the other guy, he's like, I'm not gonna fly because I don't like to fly after a heavy meal.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I think that was like my
good
fourth
mentor.
or fifth run.
That was my asshole run. When every choice I was just being an asshole about. But I didn't like the ending because I didn't like, I'm a vampire. I'm an immortal. I want to travel the world. I don't want to work at a diner and, you know,
I like
pay
the thing.
taxes and stuff. And it's awful.
But you're a teenager. You have no money to travel. You need to save up
That's
and
true.
marry
We,
a hot
Reference to a
vampire.
previous
He's
book.
hot.
I don't
No.
rob people. I'm an immortal.
no,
Life is
but
in my hands, and so is your wallet.
Claire, do you remember that book? Was it the Lost Girls that we read?
Yes.
That had
Yeah.
Taco Bell.
they worked at
yes,
Taco Bell.
yeah.
They're like, this sucks, but I'm a teenage vampire. What other job am I gonna get?
Exactly.
And
Draw realism, and why don't you? Mm.
I remember that from Shadowhunters, and Simon was a vampire, and he was like a teenager, and he's like, I'm never going to be able to go into a bar. You know, I'm always going to look like a teenager. I'm never going to go and be able to go into a bar,
Unless it's a vampire bar.
vampire bar.
Vampire bar.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
Drew.
If it's
what's
the US, yeah. Come to the UK, we're fine.
Yeah. Drew,
Um,
what's your run through?
My run through actually was very similar to Brie's run through up until the one point. So I didn't open the packet because I was like, oh, this is. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna regret this because I'm not gonna turn into a vampire. I know this, but I'm gonna go with it. I'm just gonna go with what my first thought is. So Fifi the dog ate it, turned into a vampire, and then like went crazy, ran out the door as she does, and then Mummy Dearest called, and I was like, oh look, Mum, like the dog's run away. I can't talk right now. She's like, oh, she's fine. Stop him now. And I was like, oh, okay. Oh. And then, you know, she's gone forever. Can't see. And then I swear, like, we went to Mr. Jeremy's house first, I swear. And we were like, oh, that's weird. Have you seen my dog? She ran this way. And he was like, oh, he not there? My memory's a bit hazy about this part. He wasn't there, I think. And then we were like, okay, we saw him go to the pet store. So we went to the pet store. Pet store was empty. They were closed. So we're like, okay, we'll come back in the morning. That's fine. Came back in the morning. It was completely empty. And then the lady was there and was like, oh, yeah, it was his mum, I swear. And then we ended up getting back to Mr. Jeremy's house. I knocked on the door twice and then got let in. And then his parrot attacked me. And I was like, what is going on? Stop, please. And then Mr. Jeremy came in and was like, oh, yep, here's all my vampire animals, by the way. I'm selling them to the circus. And I was like, excuse me? Okay, I guess. I mean, that's Celsius. Brie said that's my dog, but I'm sure, I guess. And then at the end, a little mosquito flies up to me and bites me on the neck, and it was a little vampire mosquito. And that was the end.
I did not get a vampire mosquito.
Amazing.
They are evil little buggers, so you know.
I believe it.
Ugh. Oh man. Okay. So can we talk about our favorite outcomes? Because we've all clearly read this book a million times. My favorite one, I made it like all the way to a vampire countess after falling through a trap door, and I threw blood in her face instead of drinking it. But then I decided I don't want to drink the blood, but I will lick it off your face, which was ridiculous, and that was my favorite. Plus, like, I felt like I read that one for like 20 minutes. I thought it was going to end so much sooner than that, but no, ended with me licking someone's face, which, I mean, okay, yeah. That sounds like me.
That's on
Yeah.
brand.
I can see it.
It works.
Sure.
Oh, okay. Probably route 5 for me, which was the second pacifist run that I did. And it's the one. It does actually have the dogs. It is the one with the dogs. And then Gabe actually disappears, comes back to save me. I'm in the garage at this point, and I'm like, dogs, garage, I'm gonna die. And then Gabe comes back, but with dog in a can, and instead of a packet of blood, it's dog biscuits. The dog biscuits, which turns them from vampire dogs back into just dogs, and then I turn around and say, "Do you have any more biscuits? Because now I have a new Halloween costume,"
Oh,
which I thought
No.
was ridiculous. On a similar vein, my run 6, in one of the earlier ones where I met the Countess as well, Amanda, you see some bats, and the choice is, do you follow the bats or not? Well, I chose the first time not to follow the bats, but I call this my Batman run, because I decided I went in purely to follow the bats. So I followed the bats, and then you get bitten by a bat and you get turned into a bat, and you're a vampire, and you decide really strongly, I can turn into a bat.
Mhm.
So you like almost poop yourself in concentration and you turn into a bat. It's none of this, what would you do in the shadows? Bat! Which would be amazing. It was like, bat! Bat! Which in my head I was going, shut! But you turn into a bat. But you can't unturn into a bat. So you live as a bat forever. In like, you're a bat boy, and you never unbat, so you are an immortal bat forever. And I think you like live in the roof of Gabe's house or something like that, like forever. It's weird. I don't know,
Very nice.
but I thought that was quite fun. I was like, I could travel the world as a bat. But yeah, dog in a can or live as a bat are my two favorite endings.
Oh, okay. Annie, what was your favorite?
Well, Brie and Drew, your problem with that particular run was you stopped to answer the phone, because I did not answer the phone, because especially, I went back and read it, but especially the fact that it was your mother on the phone, because there is nothing that my heart loved better than ignoring my mother's phone calls. So I was really proud of myself that I ignored the phone call, and then later when I went back and saw that, yeah, it was from your mother, so good thing. But anyhow, I ignored the phone call, and we went on a chase, and I forget all the specifics because I just love the ending so much. I became a vampire because I got bitten by a vampire weenie dog. A vampire weenie dog. I never got Fifi. I never found Fifi. But I might have saw her. But yeah, I got bit by a vampire weenie dog, and I know somebody who has weenie dogs, so it made it even more hilarious.
That's amazing.
Oh,
Don't answer the phone.
Weenie dog.
oh, okay, Brie.
Weenie.
Are you? Do you still have a car alarm going off in the background, Brie? Okay. Constance, what was your favorite run through?
Wait, it just stopped.
Oh, okay.
Okay, sorry about that.
Vampire gods are with us.
It just started up again. Okay, Constance, go on.
Okay. My favorite part. I really enjoyed my first run through. I like that my first run through was Claire's asshole run through. So just like, does that make me an asshole? Dang it! Because I just went with my first instinct, just like everything.
Lovable asshole.
Lovable asshole. Lovable asshole.
Always a lovable asshole.
Yes.
But I
also liked when I got to the Contessa lady, and she's like, drink this. No, drink it. Throws it in her face, abandoned Gabe in there. It's just like, okay, bye, Gabe. Peace. I really did not like getting the cure. I was just like, no, I don't wanna. Stop making me do the cure. Dang it.
And what was the countess's name? Was it like Yvonne or something?
It was Yvonne.
Yeah, I was like,
one of those.
yeah.
Yeah. Old vampire lady.
I knew Yvonne once, and I used to call her an energy vampire.
Oh,
Oh no.
it's amazing. Drew, let's go ahead and go to you. I know that Brie is no longer honking, but we're just going to keep going in alphabetical
Yeah,
order.
no worries. Well,
She's had a shower.
by default, my first playthrough is my only playthrough, so it's my favorite outcome. I didn't mind the outcome actually. You know, I'm gonna assume I took my dog back and we both became vampires forever. But it was pretty fun. In the big scheme of things, I don't think it's too tragic. Like, you know, my dog ran away for a night and I came back. Fun.
Okay, Brie, what's yours?
So I had 3 favorites out of the 5 that I did. The first mini favorite was when I decided to attack the vampire parrot instead of talking to it to ask what was going on. I just got attacked and by the animals, and then Fifi comes up and like tries to defend me and call them off. She still loves me, but then it was too late, and I fed the vampire animal, so it was dying for a good cause.
Aw.
And then the other favorite one I had was I went through the packet, the countess, the flinging it in the face, finding the weird grimoire thing, and then going back home. And then it came down to how do you remember the cure right? I went with Gabe's horrible idea of not remembering the cure, and then we both bit each other and became vampire best friends and used a blood bank like you should in the modern age.
Nice.
That was an ending? Oh my god.
Can't believe I missed that one. Oh.
Did anybody have the endings where you use your dad as a dentist to help
What?
you?
What?
Yeah,
No.
your dad,
That was
Yeah.
okay.
one of them, I think it was like you end up like talking to your mom, and you know, like you're gonna tell her, oh, I'm a vampire, and then she's like, okay, well, let's get your dad to help, and your dad turns out to be a dentist, so he takes you to his dental office overnight and like files your fangs down and gives you braces so you
Oh my
can't
God.
bite anyone.
What the?
That's horrific.
Kill you?
Child
That's
abuse.
mutilation.
It was
Oh my
it
God.
was it was not my favorite one. We
You're,
We did-
you're not
we-
touching my fangs. No.
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 Did he starve to death then because he couldn't?
I don't even remember what happened.
Or
at
did
the
he go
end
to
of
the
that one.
blood bank maybe? I don't know.
No, there was no
Blood
blood bank. I don't
pouches.
remember what happened at the end of that one. I think it might have just ended because you went
Well,
to the dentist.
I did get to the point where I'd read so many that they were kind of running together. Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to like take a little break and come back another day and read another one.
In every single playthrough I didn't kill Gabe. This is the biggest regret of my choose your own adventure life. I hate Gabe with a fiery passion. He will always get you killed, or he will always double cross you, or he's a horrible friend.
Awful.
Oh my gosh.
It was particularly helpful for me.
So was there anything else that anyone liked about reading this choose your own adventure book?
I liked how silly our main character was. Like, just how they thought they knew so much on vampire lore from the get-go, but they really know nothing. And just like flapping their wings, like, I'm gonna be a bat. Flap, 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 flap.
Oh, I got that one too. I did that too. And Gabe's like, what are you doing, man? You're like, I'm trying to be a bat.
I'm trying to fly. Shut up, I'm concentrating. Stupid Gabe.
And Gabe is
I
all like, I want to be
really-
normal.
I really liked, whilst I love being bit by the vampire weenie dog, it's my favorite. I did really love when he decided to just go all in and be a vampire, and he was only going to bite people he didn't like. And then I started contemplating, you know, because I could be that kind of vampire. I started contemplating who I would bite. And there seems to be a propensity of men and big pickup trucks here lately that They don't signal. They just start moving over and they expect you to get out of the way. And, so I'm going to follow all of them down and or maybe I shouldn't say that live, but okay.
Late.
Yeah.
Too late. You've already said it.
Too late.
If I was going to be a vampire, I would only suck the blood of evil men. There you go.
I like it.
Vigilante
I'm going to jump in here.
again.
I'm going to jump in here though. Two things. First thing, loved all the different endings. And I'm hearing endings. I did not get that. I have not had so many of the circus, the mosquito. I have not had any of these endings. So I need to go back and I need to do several more run throughs to see what the dickens.
Yeah.
Because I did not get them.
What
However,
the dickens?
I know we're being very positive and saying what we're like. Apart from Gabe, we all hate Gabe.
Yeah.
But I need to express this. I did not like how if you bit somebody, they instantly became a vampire because that makes no logical sense.
Yeah, that was
It
weird.
means that you are creating more vampires all the time, and therefore your food source is going. And that means, unfortunately, with Annie's logic as well, that if you're only biting people you don't like, you're turning these people into vampires. And for me, that's a reward.
Well,
I've got to rethink this whole thing then.
Yeah.
You're right.
You can't just take a little nibble. You're gonna have to gorge and drain them.
Yeah, you'll have to drain
Kill
them
them.
completely dry and kill them. But
so
one
we
of-
need to drain the people we
just
like,
nibbling?
so we have a vampire clan.
yes.
Yeah, the vampire animals drained me dry, and I did not become a vampire at the end of that. So
Yeah.
there is an internal logic.
Murder.
Oh my
Okay,
God,
so
how-
vampires must murder to make sure their food doesn't come back as a vampire.
Yes.
Fine.
One of my
Because you're still killing all your food source, though.
One of my run throughs, the Countess decided that the vampire in a can, which was a children's Halloween costume, led to there being too many young vampires. So she put me to sleep for 100 years. So, I mean,
Same.
they realized the mistake that they made. So there weren't
That's
too
when you
many
went in.
vampires. They locked me in a coffin for 100 years. And Gabe too, which I don't remember if Gabe had been turned or not, or if they just threw him in a coffin because they didn't want to deal with him.
Yeah,
He
turned
was
them.
Probably both.
annoying. He was annoying, and they were just like, oh, throw him in
Ugh.
there.
Get out of here.
There'll be future vampires' problems.
Yeah.
I really liked the amount of puns and ridiculous, just like really clever, witty, cheesy sense of humor. Like one of the playthroughs I had, for instance, I like the way I got out from the vampires storming me and Gabe was telling a really bad pun joke, and then they were just on the floor laughing. The vampires actually seemed really cool. They were really classy. They had a fun party. Like, why wouldn't you want to join them? Like, the only reason I didn't the first time around was because they kidnapped my best friend. It was mine to kill, damn it. Mine, not theirs. And of course, kitties and snarky parrots.
I didn't encounter the parrot at all.
Yeah,
No parrot for me.
No parrot.
I wanted
Don't
to
know if I
keep the
did,
parrot
can't
and go on
remember.
an adventure with him.
That parrot seems something.
So sad.
So many routes have not seen.
I know. I feel like I just need to keep reading it, but I swear it's only got like 140 pages. How have I missed so many?
And I'm really glad that I went and got a copy from my library, because I got the one on Hoopla, but it was so much more enjoyable to like flip the pages, because that would have been just digital. There's a time and place for a real book, and this. I was really glad that I got to.
Yeah. I had to do lots of, oh God, let me just work out when I was doing this, because the joys of doing it on an app is, the page numbers don't align with the page. There's more pages. It was fun.
Oh, I also carried mine all around with me day before yesterday. So I walk in to get my hair done and I slap my book because, sometimes you have to wait. And Lauren's like, that's not your normal read. So I'm telling her. And then I was reading it at the Big Biscuit while I was waiting for my biscuit. And then, so I was reading that, and then because, multiple books. So I go back to my vehicle and I've got a Rosalind Pilcher, The Shell Seekers playing. So I had a very weird juxtaposition going on as I'm traveling. But yes, I carried the Goosebumps book with me everywhere for a couple of days, just to wherever I could, if I had 10 minutes, let's read another one.
I love that.
And I really liked how it was just really fun. And me and my dog just became vampire buddies. It was great. For the low price of Vampire Returns. $5.99. What you like with time.
They should have let you join the circus with Fifi.
Exactly.
So technically, what age group is this book for? Because I enjoyed it immensely.
Middle grade?
Yeah, these are middle grade. These are middle grade books.
There's nothing wrong with a middle grade book.
No,
We love middle grade.
No, we do.
Did anybody else think that the little packet though at the beginning wasn't blood? It was just like one of those silicone packets that they're putting things to keep to help the moisture with the moisture issues. Yeah. I was like, no, you don't eat the silicone packets. Don't do. Oh, it's probably blood.
I thought it was those packets too. To keep it fresh.
I just assumed it was blood because vampire.
Right.
I assumed it was just a bunch of fake blood.
I figured it was, it says danger. There should be a reason. But
because it's a silica pack and it's going to shrivel up your insides.
Exactly. But apparently that makes me a wimp, according to the book.
Oh,
you are never a wimp.
No.
Not a vampire book club.
Me a wimp.
I question, okay, so you open the packet with your teeth because you can't open it with your fingers, right? And you're like, this tastes good. I remember I cut my finger last week and I sucked the blood off, and it was like, why? Why are you thinking this is a good flavor? And you already did it, and you were like, yeah, that's fine, and then you do it again.
LSD. Crystal meth. It's laced. It's laced with a drug to make you smoke.
Laced with something yummy.
And Gabe's bubble gum, the smacking of the gum, and then the chewing, and I'm like, oh my god.
I would have killed him right there. It would have just set off the feeding frenzy.
It's like, you know how some people take the gum out and they stick it on something, and you're like, just no. Just it's done. Put it in the trash. Put it in the trash. No,
you can't put your fingers underneath tables at schools because that's where all of the gum gets put.
No. What about when?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
What about when Gabe puts his gum in your mouth?
Ew, disgusting.
Nope.
Ew.
The main thing that bothered me about Gabe was that is not how you would react if your best friend became a vampire. My God, if any of us became vampires, we'd be like, hell yeah.
My turn.
Yeah, we would be so supportive. We would do all the research. We would just be like, hell yeah. We would
actually take your friend to the library.
Exactly.
You would take your friend to the library where Amanda is working and get them to fight Amanda so she too can be a vampire.
Yes, we would all become vampires.
Definitely.
And then we would legit be a vampire book club.
That really bugs me. That really bugs me.
Yeah, picking the library choice was horrible because I wanted to go to the library. I wanted some
and
lore dumping or my Buffy origin vampire hunter story. But no, it's just watching crappy movies.
Yeah, that was
old man Spike.
Yes, old man Spike.
That
young-
really, I did not like that. It's like, where's the library?
What I'm
You said you
hearing
were
Yeah.
going.
What I'm hearing here is we need to write our own fictional hangover vampire choose your own adventure.
Yes, I think
Yes.
we do need to do that. We need to
And
figure
y'all will
out how.
explain to me how you do that, because that still boggles my mind how you write those.
I have legitimately listened to an interview about someone who did that once, so it's doable. Just
All right, you have to teach us.
Convoluted.
You have to teach us, Brie. We're ready. We'll go to the library and learn.
Let's have a workshop.
Yes.
We'll have
And
a
then
workshop.
Library.
Yes.
Vampire adventure workshop.
Yes,
For the craft
yes.
movies.
Okay. Does that bring us to time? Is it time?
is it time?
It's time.
Is it time?
It's time. It's
Time. It's time for Would You Rather.
Would you rather? We asked on social media, would you rather open the packet or not open the packet? Unsurprisingly, with 91% on Facebook, with 100% on Instagram, and 74% on TikTok, we're all opening the packet.
Yes.
We have
Yes.
comments. Colin on Facebook, open, open, open! You don't put a big red button with do not touch near me, so you certainly do not put mysterious packets in my Halloween costume, unless you expect me to rip that bad boy right the fuck open.
Katrina on Facebook said, obviously open. I'm going to need to know what's inside. Plus, it's in with my costume. I would assume it's part of the ensemble.
Coral on Facebook, open for sure when you're told not to do something you always want to do the opposite. Danger, yes.
Candace on Facebook said, open in case a real vampire emerges and bites me. Fingers crossed.
Fiona on Facebook, who can resist? Do not open. I'm a Gen Xer. Our generation laughs in the face of danger.
Claire on Facebook is too curious not to. It's why I answer unknown caller calls. Oh my God.
Claire,
no.
Oh.
Claire is too brave for all of us.
No. Is that bravery or being weird?
Foolhardy.
I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it.
We had at Des Decipher on TikTok, who just remembers Goosebumps stories.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good one. It's not I didn't ever read this one when I was a kid. My favorite one as a kid was Escaping from the Carnival of Horrors or something like that. That was a really good one.
I really want to read the grandma one now, because I didn't.
Well, Annie, your local library probably has them.
They
Or we at least
probably-
for sure know that they're on Hoopla.
Love
I
my
just
library.
remember the Nickelodeon show advertisements and the puppet, or was it not the Crypt Keeper? The puppet guy was Goosebumps, I think. I just remember those images and seeing them around and getting really creeped out.
It was like a marionette puppet
Yeah.
in Goosebumps. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I mean, are we all opening the packet?
Yeah.
Bree, you're not
no.
opening the packet?
I'm not opening. Kitty, I'm not opening the packet. Well, okay, like you said, it could be a silicone packet, and you just throw those out.
Y'all heard me already talk about the fact, those novels where somebody gets a letter and they don't open it and they tuck it in a drawer, and then 25 years later they read it and find out, oh, they were supposed to do something or whatever. I'm like, no, who's not reading the letter? Read the letter. I mean, I'm like, read the mail as I'm walking up the driveway. I'm not leaving it unopened.
See, if I don't open the packet, then I get a vampire dog best friend who can turn me into a vampire, and then we can go to the circus together. So I think I win.
You do what works for you, and Vampire Circus. There you go.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Always open packet. Always. Even if it's glitter.
Especially if it's glitter.
Especially if it's glitter.
Then you become a Twilight vampire.
Hey, I'm fine with that. Everyone knows how I feel about Twilight. I'm fine with that.
Twilight vampires are a little OP, so I'd be okay with that too. Have to be
You
diamond
see,
glitter.
the thing is, though,
on
with
your
the circus, does anybody else get Armand? Is it Armand from Interview with a Vampire vibes with the
Yeah.
circus? Just saying.
Okay. Next question. This question came from my first storyline. Would you rather hide in an open grave or fight a stranger?
I fight
Fight
that
a-
stranger.
Fight a
I'd try my best
stranger.
to fight. I wouldn't do
my
very
friend.
well.
I circle back once again to
Mhm.
my previous statement about being buried alive. No, we're
Yeah.
gonna fight. We're
Yeah.
gonna stand,
We're gonna
Yeah.
stand our ground.
stand our
Even-
ground.
Even I would fight, and I'm a bit of a coward. Like, I would. The thing is, I would try to fight the stranger or reason with the stranger, or if I'm like high on vampire strength or whatever, then I'd feel a little more confident than if it was just, little old me. So I'd probably lose, but better
I
than
don't wanna
jumping
be
into a hole.
Yeah, no.
Because even if you didn't think, if you think you're just gonna hide there, you don't think you don't realize that you're gonna get buried alive. Also, if you've jumped into this hole, how are you getting out? Because there's no ladder, and
Mhm.
I'm not that tall, and how am I getting out?
And then you accidentally poop yourself.
May I propose?
You flap.
Yes.
You become
May
fat.
I propose? Now you see, I jumped in the open grave the first time. However, if this was actually me, I would not be jumping in the grave. I'd be hiding behind a gravestone.
Mm.
Yeah.
I think
And
I
then-
probably really would fight a stranger. I would push the stranger into the open grave.
Yes.
Mm.
And if you're having volunteered a lot at a
Stranger danger,
cemetery,
stranger danger.
there are always little broken bits off of tombstones from when the guys are mowing and they hit a chunk. You can find something to use as a weapon if you're hiding behind the tombstone, Claire.
Mm.
More than
Mm.
likely.
Drew?
I'm definitely going to try my best to fight this stranger. They might beat me, but I'm not going in the open grave.
Okay,
not for me.
next question. Oh, did we have any comments? Lydia's
Lydia
fighting.
is going to fight. Yes.
Okay. All right. Annie, I think this is your question.
It is, and it's kind of a mix because my first, I didn't, like I said, my first one was so incredibly boring. I had to come up with something better. Would you rather be a traditional vampire but live with your mother and have to hide your fangs, your bloodlust, and avoid being fried, or become a vampire weenie dog? I am so obsessed with the vampire weenie dog. I'm going to be a vampire weenie dog.
Yeah. Same. I'm with you, Annie.
Make me the pupper.
Dog.
A pack of vampire weenie dogs.
Pack of vampire weenie dogs. And we will terrorize the bad people and
We will bite all of the ankles.
All the ankles.
all the ankles.
We will rove the street for scritches and boots.
I'm glad that we've all just become a pack of weenie dogs. I think
Yes.
Vampire weenie dog.
Not just
book
us,
club.
Amanda. Lydia is also going to be a vampire weenie dog and bite all
Good,
the ankles
good.
as well. So we
Yes.
have four in our
yes.
pack.
Okay. The next one is Breeze.
Would you rather take all the risks yourself so you know it'll be done right, or use your dim-witted BFF as a human shield and make him take all the risks so you'll be in less danger?
I'm going to take all the risks myself because, one, I like things done a certain way. I'm that type of person. And also, we all know that Gabe is just going to make a mess of things. So, let's just do it right ourselves the first time instead of have to clean up after him.
He's not even good as cannon fodder. Like,
No, he's not. He's poor
I'll do
Gabe.
it myself. Well, actually, and, you know,
Poor
Gabe
Gabe.
didn't really do much in my
God damn it,
playthrough, so it was great.
Yeah, I don't. I struggle with like letting people do something that I should do, that I know that I can do. I struggle with that a lot. So I'm gonna do it myself.
In Gabe's defense, he did get the dog in a can. That was one time he did anything any good. He got the dog in a can, which was funny.
I did
However,
not get that storyline. I did
didn't
like
either.
that.
Yeah,
Nope.
you've got to go heavy on the Fifi one, and yeah, I can't help but feel cannon fodder. So like he tries it, and if I don't like it, then I don't have to do it. But if he does it, and it actually turns out pretty good, then I'll give it a go. So like I do like things done a certain way as well.
but then the book calls you a wuss.
That's just mean.
He is
That's just
dim-witted,
mean.
and I do like the idea of a human sheep. Screw it, Gabe. Sorry, mate. Stand in front of me. Take the fodder.
Human shield. Human shield.
Chill.
Human shield.
And also being called a wuss, isn't that like the most like 11-year-old boy?
The middle grade book.
Childhood.
No,
It's
it's like you're a wuss. You're a
It's
wuss.
very 90s as well.
demographic.
You would not get called a wuss by an 11-year-old nowadays. It would be a full
Well,
letter
see,
word.
I'm
Did anybody else get the payphone?
yes, the payphone. When somebody said that, I was going to mention that. It's like, when's the last time you've seen a payphone?
Oh, the payphone.
At the airport.
Please
I have one in
know,
the village.
Claire
I got a
once
pay.
told me. Sorry.
No, you go ahead.
Claire once told me that only grandmothers still had landlines. So she's like, who has landlines except for grandmas? And I'm like, I have a landline.
My mother doesn't even have a landline anymore.
This new house, no landline, strictly cell phone. Because Claire called me a grandma.
Oh,
We just got rid of our landline, actually.
really? You still had one until recently?
Like last week.
Oh my gosh.
In defense, though, in the UK, it's only just been possible to have the internet without having a landline by the providers. Some of them have said you have to have the landline connection, and now they've stopped that. Technically, I do have a landline. I just don't have a telephone connected to it.
I still want one of those pink princess phones because I had one as a teenage girl, and I really want one of those back. And if I find one of those, I might feel the need to like get me a landline so I can have the pink. Which I'm going to then ignore everybody who calls on the landline.
My friend Joe has a hamburger.
We have
My
a
friend Joe has one of those
hamburger.
hamburger phones.
We also have a Garfield.
Oh,
Wasn't there a Donald Duck one too? I mean, yeah, there
It was
was
a Mickey.
I believe
I
it.
don't remember Donald.
Yeah.
I had
Sorry.
the clear one that you could see all of the wires and stuff on the inside.
We had that one
Tech is the
too.
best. Clear tech.
So cool.
Would this be
Retro
one of those
technical.
times when we've fallen into one of those discussions about something so incredibly random?
Yes.
Betrayal.
Oh,
Landline phone. I love it.
Sorry about that.
okay, let's go on. Let's go to our next question.
Would you rather abandon your dim-witted best friend to the horde of vampires to get to safety, or drink a vampire potion that will make you sleep for over 100 years?
Oh, I'm taking that nap. I
Taking
am
that
taking the
Same.
nap.
I need
was
to
saying
take
mud-
nap.
Is I would love to just, bye, Gabe, toss them to the vampires. I want that nap. I want
Yeah.
that nap.
I need
Yeah.
to nap.
I'm going with Gabe. I don't like him as long as it's Gabe. If it's a normal, actual best friend, then
No, it's Gabe. It's Gabe.
yeah. If it's Gabe, then I'm abandoning him. He would have done the same to me.
But
And
No question.
I'm totally like though. Oh, I tried to save him, but he just didn't keep up. I was running, and I looked back there, and he was gone. What was that? What was I supposed to do? Oh, yeah.
Oh well.
Oh well, I tried.
I
I tried.
Good.
I'm definitely team nap.
We all want the nap.
Lydia is joining us
And
for a nap as
coffee.
well. I mean, the potion, but the nap.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
well,
No,
okay.
it's Gabe, then take the potion.
Downside though, 100-year nap, but then you wake up and everything is different.
Yeah, and
Like,
then
you don't know how
don't
that's going to turn out.
you don't have your
I'm
clear
worried more
phone
by the
anymore.
munchies. I'm more
Oh,
worried.
I'm going to go and sleep in my coffin with my clear phone.
Okay, good. You're taking your clear phone with you.
They have all of the
Necessity.
ancient technology that you want.
It's
Necessity.
chipped in your arm to pay.
This was charged when I went for the nap.
They've probably gone to some weird cashless system, and you're supposed to have a chip in your arm, and you don't have your chip in you, and then they think you're somebody else, and everybody's trying to kill you because
Oh, that was sad.
I'm sorry. This is all wrong. None of this is on brand for us. If we're going into a coffin and taking a 100-year nap, we're not taking our phones. We're not taking our clear telephones that are all retro and spangly. We're taking a pile of books because you can never have enough books. And if you wake up for 5 minutes, you want to have a read. So yeah,
Never
that's
said we wouldn't
that's
have
what we'll be
books. We
doing.
can have multiple things in there if our coffin's big enough. We can have multiple things.
Yeah.
I
I'm
can take my
bringing
Steam Deck with me.
I'm bringing a portable charger and my Audible
Ooh.
subscription.
I'll
Database
turn
of
my cat
audio
into a
books.
vampire, and it'll just be me in the cat pile with my books and video games. There we
I
go.
like that. That's a good.
I like
shout.
that. I like
Bring
that.
your Switch.
I hope you've made your cat's a vampire, because otherwise,
No,
Give
vampire
me 5
Cleo.
minutes. Just gonna
Vampire Cleo.
Okay, and then
You
remember Stella from the Apocalypse book, and she brought all the wine.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna line mine with Lefroy quarter cast bottles all around me.
That will be
that's
amazing.
going to be well.
Yes.
So we are
Aged,
taking the
yes.
potion under the condition that we get an Egyptian pharaoh size tomb burial,
Yes,
mummification
exactly.
ceremony.
All our
Yeah.
books,
Yeah.
our
Into the
never-ending
sarcophagus.
our never-ending TBR, a never-ending supply of wine, whiskey, whatever your bevy of choice is, some snacks,
And vampire pets.
Yes.
Yes.
and
Yeah.
a vampire weenie dog.
Yes, definitely.
And no dim-witted best friend.
No.
No, Gabe.
No.
No. We
No.
talked him. He was the distraction, so we could all have our little mausoleum with our own coffin rooms to
Yes.
have all our stuff in.
Yes. Okay, we actually have 6 questions this time, friends, because there are 6 of us. Our last would you rather question. What is it?
So, would you rather explain to your mum why you ignored her phone call to go get the dog? Or would you rather explain to her why you let the dog escape?
Oh.
Oh,
Oh no.
As I have established, I have had a long history of ignoring my mother's phone calls, so I am really good at it. So
Mum,
we're definitely.
Mum, I know you watching. Don't call. Text.
But look, she couldn't text in this book because we have our clear
Payphone.
retro phones and our payphones. So
Beeper. She beeper. She beeper.
Oh, a
would you
beeper.
rather ignore your page or no? It's a 911 page. No.
I would rather go after the pet, honestly, because I would either legitimately ignore and then forget that I ignored, so I could honestly say, I didn't notice. Did you call? Or then I'd have to explain why I was out of the house without supervision. But it's the 90s. Everyone did that.
Yeah, that's fine.
I will do anything but tell my mother that the dog is lost. She will murder me if that ever anything happened to her animals. It's like, nope, I'll ignore. Nope, animals are all fine. Everything's okay. Don't murder me.
Everyone's fine.
We once babysat the sister-in-law's dogs, and my husband is like, you better not let anything happen to that dog, because she would forgive you if you let something happen to her husband. She won't forgive you if you let something happen to the dog.
Priorities,
That's
people.
how mother is.
Yeah.
That's fair. I think that's most dog animal lovers. Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm going to explain why I let the dog escape, because we've never had a dog. So it's easy. Because then the hard part becomes, what dog, why, how, and then I can just come up with some random stuff. If it was the pet that we did have, it would be the hamster. And quite frankly, I think if that one escaped, well, it did escape that one time, and I was terrified it was going to bite my toes. But if it escaped outside,
A vampire hamster.
and it was called
God,
Nibbles,
no.
and it was an absolute shit. That hamster was the devil.
Vampire ferret.
Incarnate, and we thought it did once, but it didn't. It was, who knew hamsters hibernated, and we buried it. We had a full funeral in the back garden, in the shoebox and everything, and then like 3 days later, it had buried itself out, and it was in the back garden. I think my aunt was round, and she went, there's rats, and my mum went, no, it's the hamster. She grabbed the hamster, and it like lived for like another 6 months. I'm like, that
It rose from the
hamster's a
dead.
demonic hamster.
Oh my
And then when it
God.
did die, we kept booking it with a peg just to make sure it was definitely dead. That hamster was evil. So yeah, if I explain. Oh, okay. So my mum's confirmed. If I let Gabe to the vampires, you would have to be a BFF forever because you'd be a vampire. Oh, that's fine. I think my mum's okay. I can ignore a call, and I'll just explain about the why the hamsters escaped. It's fine. It's all good. I've got permission.
Zombie hamster.
Zombie hamster.
Zombie hamster.
Possessed demonic hamster turned into a zombie.
I definitely go with why not cool, because I'm constantly tracking down my pets. So my mom's like, again, really? Oh, come on.
I think that I would explain why I ignored the call, but it would be some like elaborate scheme and nothing would be truthful.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
I was taking
Lydia in the chat points out that if you ignored a call, you just tell her it never rang.
See, that works
Yeah.
too.
That is so logical.
Oh, I guess something that was, we live in the country, Mom, and when it rains, the phone line, it gets crackly and it doesn't work, and yeah.
Yeah.
The ringer was off.
Perfect.
I was going to the bathroom.
Oh, yeah.
I was in the shower.
Yeah. Oh, too bad.
I was making out with Gabe. No.
Oh,
That's the lie. That's the lie.
yeah.
That's a nauseating lie.
No bueno.
Okay.
It gives him too much hope.
Well, after Would You Rather in our normal episodes comes favorite final thought quote. Does anyone have a favorite quote from this fantastic book?
I do.
What's
Mine
yours?
is. I wrote it down. As they bite into your neck, you think sadly, my life has really gone to the dog. That was when you were being bit by the vampire weenie dog. I love a good pun.
Oh, so good.
I have one too.
Okay, what's yours?
Face it, you're never going to have an exciting adventure if you keep letting your best friend do everything. You'll just go on making more wimpy decisions, and that will eventually lead you to another page like this one, a page where you're stuck facing the two worst words in the world, the end.
Oh, you're wimpy again.
Yep.
Brie, honestly, if you read Goosebumps as a child and you read this one in particular, your childhood trauma would be Goosebumps called me a wimp.
Yes.
You'd have to tell that to your therapist.
Yeah, I think that you would.
Mhm.
R.L. Stine called me a wimp.
Oh, anybody else have one?
I couldn't pick one. Everything was hilarious. So if anything, I'd probably pick the one where you're trying to fly and flapping your arms around.
That was
Ooh.
good.
No, I did like. I say I saw it in our little selection that we have. I didn't get it in my one. I wasn't a vampire. It's like we know how much you love vampires. I'm like,
Yes.
you do. I do like them.
Claire, did you have one?
I'll give you mine as well. Graves. Yeah, graves. They seem so cozy, so comforting, so homey.
Hmm. Mine was I won't bite you, but how about people we hate?
Yeah,
And
I'm down.
That
Real
is
life
the
or book
Not
Amanda?
real life.
yes.
Aw. Boo.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, I cannot believe we've been at this for over an hour. So I
It was
think
so much
it was
fun.
very,
Yeah.
very fun. So I think that brings us to the end of this episode, the 300th episode of Fictional Hangover. Yay!
You guys did it!
So I'm Amanda.
I'm Annie.
I'm Brie.
I'm Constance.
I'm Drew.
And I'm Claire.
Join us next time as we discuss Across the Green Grass Fields by Seanan McGuire, which you can discuss with us on Discord. Look out for our Would You Rather polls on social media. Be sure to visit our shop on Redbubble, where you can also get this amazing shirt and other great Fictional Hangover themed merchandise at fictionalhangover.redbubble.com, and become a patron of ours on Patreon at patreon.com/fictionalhangover so you can join in on episodes with us too. Until next time, remember, the only cure for a fictional hangover is another book. Ah.
You can find us at fictionalhangover.com and follow us on all social media at Fictional Hangover. If you like this episode, check out our others. Be sure to rate, review, and subscribe so you don't miss out. Don't forget to like this video on YouTube and follow us there for loads more shorts coming. And you know what? Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you.